Welcome to Medway Peninsula Modern Railway. So what has happened to the garage? Well, I managed to finish painting the walls, put some shelving up. The flooring I laid was from B&Q, 6 rubber plasticky type tiles that just meshed together as in a jigsaw. Gave a nice base, and to be honest with you, keeps the dust down. We also had a decent bit of carpet left over, and so that is now at the front, so that's great. I toyed with baseboards. Do I do them myself? Do I get somebody else in? My view is my carpentry skills aren't great. Also, have I really got the necessary equipment to do it? I need a decent, probably a bandsaw. Bearing in mind that the basis of the whole layout is the importance of decent baseboards. I bit the bullet, had a look at eBay, found a chap who I thought was reasonable, and commissioned some boards. They came delivered with legs, and I think they're decent quality. Softwood frame with a 9mm baseboard made of plywood. And as you can see from the first picture, they only needed the legs attached. So this is a view of the left side of the garage. You can see there's some simple shelving that I've put up. The painting's been done, and you can just see the left hand side baseboard. This is going to be 2 foot width, and the eventual width from top to bottom is 10 foot. This is a view of the top right hand corner. As you can see, we're moving nicely on with the baseboards. What I should have correctly have said is that the left hand baseboard is 2 foot width, and the eventual length will be top from bottom 10 foot. The right hand side baseboard is 3 foot wide. Thinking about it, possibly have I made a slight error, and should I have only got a maximum of 2'6", because there's a stretch over into the top right hand corner. But I'll work around that and put some perhaps simple scenery. As you can see from the walls, got some posters up there from the Hornby and Hatton formation guides. On the top right, and on the right hand side is a Leighton Orient poster that I made up, and I'll explain that further in a minute. But as you see, things are progressing. So here we are with the baseboards finally finished. Dimensions are top just on 8 foot wide, and the sides bring us down to 10 foot in length, and of course 8 foot at the wide at the bottom. Left hand side is 2 foot width, right hand side 3 foot width. As you can see, the flooring, I went back to B&Q. What I should have said is the tiles come in 6 packs, or 6 in a pack rather, and they'd run out of black, so we've got the nice multi-coloured ones, but they do the job. What I have found, of course, is that a garage has not got a level floor, and so I've got some legs which I'll show you which ones I've used in a moment. But for me, this is a momentous occasion. I really did believe at some stage I wouldn't get there, but we have, and we can move on. So exciting times. These are the legs I used. I thought quite reasonably priced, as you can see from the invoice, in case any of you might want to get them. They're quite simple, just screw them onto the legs, and there's a bolt that you thread on and adjust to the height. Now I found that they're pretty sturdy, just the way they are, but if you wanted a bit of belt and braces, or you were going to have heavy scenery or need to stand on, etc. I imagine you could put a small nut on the bolt as well, and just sort of secure it in. But as I say, I found that they're okay. I must admit I did miscalculate and was short, so I've just put an order in that's arrived today for some more, but that will give me as level as I can. I have gone across angles with a spirit level, also got a little bit of track and one of my faster running wagons to make sure there's no big sort of slides on there, and it seems pretty level, probably as level as I'm gonna get, so I'm happy with that, and there we go. So a little bit of help, please. I've been reading, looking at YouTube just to see what to do recovering of the baseboard. Some I see don't bother to varnish it, protect it, PVA it beforehand. Some people do. Some people varnish PVA and then put a base of paint on it to help when doing the scatter scenery. Mine's in the garage, so obviously there will be a change of temperature. It's quite sealed. So folks, what do you suggest? Seal first, then paint, just paint, or not worry? My track is going to be, I think I've made up my mind, cork and then the track laid on top and then ballast, so there will be some moisture because I'll be using the PVA ballasting method. Okay, comments would be extremely grateful, thank you. So what's next? I'm going to spend quite a bit of time, I think, sorting out a track layout. I had a little go on AnyRail to get an idea of what maybe can fit in, but I think I might be going old school, just get some paper laid on the baseboards and have a play around. I've downloaded the Pecco turnout templates, and also got myself just a length of Pecco track, some 3rd and 4th radius curves, and I'm just going to have a little play around and see what fits in. I know the temptation is always to cram as much track in as possible, just to really get it a good working layout, but sometimes little is more. I look at layout, say of New Junction comes to mind, and Richard's done an excellent job there. I think he's got a nice station and a couple of mainline tracks running and a heritage track, and that seems to be good. I'll be the same, I think. I'll be looking at maybe at the top end to have sort of a factory scene going on there. 2 lines coming down the left hand side with maybe a very small station, goods area. Then on the right hand side is where I want the station. Looking at a 2 through lines and maybe a shuttle DMU line between the main station and the small station. And then perhaps after the station, going through the bottom, will be, if possible, a TMD engine shed style area. But I do want to get scenery in. I do want it to look possibly like that the railway has gone through the scenery rather than the scenery dropping down from outer space onto the layout. So we'll see, and perhaps again suggestions, comments will be greatly appreciated. Thank you. So as I mentioned previously, what's with the Leighton Orient poster? Well, I've been a Leighton Orient supporter since my boyhood, so we're looking at 40 plus years, 30 plus as a season ticket holder. I lost love with the Orient when the mad Italian Bichetti took over and took us from almost a championship club to going out of business in the non-league. New owners took over, started to put the club back on an even keel, we've done very well in the National League. I started to go again. We got promoted. I was there on promotion day, also Wembley for the FA Trophy final. Was looking forward to a new season, and then bang, out of the blue, our manager Justin Edinburgh had a heart attack and passed away, aged 49. So a bit of a shock, bit of an eye-opener. So what was going to be in my man cave garage, a celebration of what was a terrific season, is my small tribute to Justin Edinburgh. And of course, may he rest in peace. Now finally, but I think most importantly, a big thank you to all those who have subscribed and for some very useful comments. I'd like to thank Paul over at Sandling Junction. He gave me some good advice. Also, he's probably out of the YouTubers the one nearest to where I am, although he is obviously quite a way ahead by having most of his track laid. But it is very interesting to follow him and to see what he does with regarding points and point control, and I'll be looking at that. The usual suspects, which I try to aspire to, the two Richards at New Junction and Everard Junction, Charlie at Chadwick. He's always putting up very good videos, and it's all great information. Susanna Joachim does some very interesting videos on programming, and Paul over at Kampala Road, all the way from Uganda. Again, there's a very good layout, and yeah, so a big thank you to you all. It is inspiring. It does help me to push forward when I think with all of us, at times you do get a little bit down and think this is all too much, but onwards and upwards. And there's been some interesting, I know that Jenny Kirk, Karen Millett, the modeller, has mentioned criticism and rivet counters, and I quite agree. It is our layout. If you are saying that you are religiously making a scale model of something, then yes, you open yourself up to criticism if it isn't correct. But if you're doing your own layout, then I really don't see what people get from criticising. I would always hope to look at the positive. But once again, many thanks. I'm up to 28 subscribers, which in fact is 27 more than I thought I would get, and 28 more than my two girls thought I'd get. So many thanks, and probably, hopefully, pop another video up again in a few weeks when things have moved on. But once again, thank you and happy modelling.